Hello, and thank you for joining us. Perhaps no other coaching change was more interesting, more engaging, and more intriguing than when the Ateneo de Manila Blue Eagles had a coaching change. As you very well know, Norman Black said that at the end of the 2012 season, he would step down as coach, and he ended with a 5-peat. And perhaps the biggest search for the next coach of Ateneo was interesting because of the interest in keeping on that winning tradition, not necessarily the championships, but the winning tradition. And here with us this day is the man who has sort of inherited the mantle, so to speak, Coach Bo Perasol. And our objective here is to get to know Bo and what Bo has in mind for the team. Bo, first of all, siguro, let's jump from past to present and perhaps the future for Ateneo. Well, your background as a player, siguro, I'm sure mukha ka naman player, di ba? You started playing UAAP. I'm sure you played UAAP ball, ano, ha?
Yes, I played for UP for the whole of 5 years. And then after those, I already started coaching. But then again, going back into the time that I was involved with basketball, I started really young. I used to listen to the transistor radio, which my father had been listening in the province, and that's in South Cotabato.
In Cotabato.
Yeah, South Cotabato. And while we were growing up, most of those nights, during basketball nights, I would wake up just listening to, let's say, Mon Fernandez passing to Jaworski and vice versa.
And how young were you at that time?
I was in my early grade school years, and that was why I was so excited and enamored when I came to Manila, and I would file up from Ultra or to Cuneta Astrodome or to Araneta, and just the sweat in me and the napakainit those times, but I would wanted to see those games for myself.
And this is going to make me feel very old, but you were watching that golden era of the PBA in the 90s, and Mon Fernandez, Ginebra, Pure Foods. You were a fan, basically.
I was a diehard Ginebra fan.
Okay, and I'm sure the Ginebra fans will enjoy that. But eventually, you finished playing for the University of the Philippines, where you got a degree in broadcast communication. So being here is really not strange land. Kasi pinag-aralan mo talaga yung TV at radio.
Yes, yes. So, well, I was in my batch. I was the best cameraman.
Oh, di ba?
I was the best cameraman because I was the most. I had the most steady hand.
Oh, okay.
So
so all the groups wanted you to be their cameraman.
Kasi ako yung pinakamalaki sa grupo namin.
And then after playing, and I understand you started coaching already.
Yeah, after playing for UP, I had a chance of while working, I had a chance to coach the UPIS team, which is the juniors team of the UP. And then from then on, parang tuloy-tuloy na eh, going to the PBL, going to the MBA, and eventually to the PBA. But there was a lull in my coaching career that I had to work as an executive of FedEx.
But being there also brought you close to the team, and eventually you were around, and then you were tapped to become coach eventually.
Yes, that's exactly what happened, because I think well, the owners remembered that they had a coach as an employee right there, so they tapped me after so many tries with so many coaches then. And that was my biggest break as a PBA coach, because the first time that I handled the team, and they never won anything there, so we got the team to be in the semifinals right away, right after that season.
Perhaps what of recent memory, what people do remember about Bo Perasol is the fact that you were the coach of the Powerade Tigers, and for quite a spell, the Tigers were struggling at the bottom of the PBA standings, but there was that turnaround year, I think it was last year, where you transformed this team into a team that played in the PBA finals. What was that like, turning that team around?
Well, as you said, it was really a struggle, because there was really a point in time when my job was on the line. I had to put it on the line, because I was telling my boss that just give me one more season, so that I could finally get the players that I wanted, the things that we sacrificed for, meaning there were a lot of times that we were supposed to compromise trading
Oh, that
those
was always
future
a,
picks
yeah.
for old guys, just to maintain the status quo. But I told him, if we're going to do this, there's no future for the team. So just blame it on me. Give me one season, and he finally accepted the challenge, and well, the rest is history.
So, as early as your UP days, your PBL, NBA days, you had this winning spirit in you. You've always been a winner. You've always wanted to win.
Well, on record, I wasn't always had been a winner, but I always
But in
wanted to
spirit,
win. Yeah,
actually.
yeah. I always wanted to win in a way that I would always find a way, regardless of my manpower, my personnel. I remember when we were in the NBA in the Surigao Miners, and I had to get those rejects from other teams. I had to gather them together, and we fought hard. We fought hard.
And maybe that's the thing that you will bring to the very colorful history of the Ateneo as far as basketball is concerned. Let's talk about that call from Ateneo. Um, I know it's a long story, but the short of it, you were invited to sort of come for the job. And how did that come about?
Well, an alumnus friend just approached me and asked me if I would be interested in coming to an interview with the search committee, and I had to make sure that they understood that I was still under contract with my current team at that time.
Now, Powerade at
Yes,
that
the
time.
Powerade team. But I really could not let that pass. Making that honor and privilege of being considered to be the replacement of Coach
You
Norman
knew
Brown.
already that Norman was his
Yes,
last season.
yes, yes.
And you had played against Ateneo in the UAP. And what were your initial thoughts, aside from the winning tradition? What came to mind when you got this call to become head coach of Ateneo?
Well, to be candid about it, I was not that interested at first.
Okay.
I was not interested at first because there were a lot of people who were telling me that why you're going back to UAAP, you're already here in the PBA, and you have a standing offer from your current team for the team that's going to buy that, and what are you going to do there anyway after, let's say, at that time the four-peat? What are you going to prove there? That you're going to lose Slaughter, you're going to lose Salva. So that was a real challenge in my mind. How am I going to get over those dilemma? And well, I had to search really deep for me to get that decision.
And then that time passed when MVP, Mr. Pangilinan and Ateneo didn't see eye to eye for a while. And you sort of said, I'm not going to join because of that particular predicament. I know that happened. And then it turned around again, and they invited you, and they talked to you again. Is that what happened?
Yes. In fact, the funny story about that is I was telling some alumni gatherings of Ateneo that when the talks of UP getting me as consultant and let's say eventually being a coach, they were really congratulating me. They were really so happy. And when I finally got the commitment of the Ateneo team to finally confirm me, I got more of warnings rather than congratulatory
Okay.
messages. No, so parang mag-ingat ka diyan, o good luck sa'yo, o wala yung congratulations, you got the job, o yung parang
But Bo, do you think the pressure is more on the first year than actually the second year? The harder part, do you agree with me that the harder part is really inheriting the team now, and the next year won't be that difficult? Do you think it's that easy?
Well, you're right. The struggle would be how am I going to adjust, and then how will the team adjust to me, and how am I going to manage? How am I going to pursue the kind of expectation the community has in the team? No, because it's it's a short span of time coming from a five-peat, and then there's going to be an adjustment. So that span of time is going to be crucial for the team, for me, and for my players. So how am I going to manage that? And because just like what you said, the second year would be where we will all be adjusted, and then we will all have our recruits and all of that.
Let's ask the big questions now, like for instance, the adjustment from coaching professionally, which is that context wherein everybody brings their skills, not so much teaching, it's more strategy, X's and O's. Is there an adjustment that Bo Perasol has to do now that he has to coach college kids in the upcoming UAAP season?
I'm fully convinced that I'm going to have a big adjustment in as far as teaching and as far as coaching is concerned. It's mainly because again, you're talking about finished products with the PBA, and you are talking about raw materials when you talk about college basketball. So you teach them. My advantage is that I've seen the finished product, and then just going back from there, it's just like, oh, this is the finished product. What are you going to do now for you to be able to reach that? So that's going to be my challenge, and I think I'm going to spend lots of time, lots of effort in trying to make my players understand, and hopefully that they're going to get the skills that I'm going to teach them.
In your personal opinion, the question that could be interesting at this point, is there a line between continuing the tradition of winning and of winning at all costs? This is a school with a lot of winning tradition, but there's also that nagging part of college sports where you have to win at all costs. What are your thoughts about this?
Well, for me, what's important right now is that we all understand that winning is it's just not about winning a game. No, as when I talked to Father Jet, he really emphasized to me that aside from of course trying to contend for the championship, it's also about character building. It's also about value formation, and for me, what's important is that I'm going to be the epitome of that teaching. You know, I'm going to be an example. I'm going to be a model for my players, and that well, one thing that I wanted to be very specific about here, me and my wife doesn't have a child, so
Okay.
wala kaming anak. So parang ngayon, parang bigla ako nagkaroon ng maraming anak.
14 plus additional managers and the whole
Yes,
community.
and malalakas kumain lahat, no? So for me, parang it's about teaching them. It's about relaying to them that yes, it's good to win, but winning at all cost and winning in life, okay, are two different things. No, and for me, it's just a consequence. Winning in games is just a consequence of winning in life.
Okay. Now let's talk X's and O's, basketball. Okay, those are the big words that are important in college sports. And if we were to break it down in terms of offense first, is there without revealing too many secrets, is there a end in mind with the material you have right now? Is there a specific role, for example, for Kiefer Avena? And the other issue probably is what you've always been saying, is the issue of the bigs. Let's start with the bigs. What do you intend to do about the bigs for Ateneo now that Greg Slaughter and production from Salva will be gone next year? What are your thoughts about this?
I've been telling the team that, let's say, for example, assuming that we're going to be maintaining the same team. No, I'm going to let them assume that, let's say, Greg is still there or Nico would still be there. What I would do as your coach, I told them that I would just continue whatever Coach Norman was doing. Why will I change it? It was a winning tradition for the last 5 years. No? However, you're going to graduate your most dominant center, your scoring forward, and then their backup big men. What are we going to do now? What I'm going to let the team change is out of necessity. No, it's not out of my thoughts as a coach, as my philosophy, but it's all about adjusting to what we have right now. So let's say, for example, it's very common. Everybody knows that if you don't have a big man, what are you going to do? No, because they're going to pound you inside. So what are you going to do? Most probably you're going to fasten the tempo of the game. You also have to fasten the tempo of your offense. So it's more of our advantage right now to get a faster tempo because of what we have.
So you're looking at playing smaller with Ravenna probably, and some of the smaller the wingmen as well as the guards playing a bigger role here. Given, but are you going to go to the provinces and recruit during this break between UAAP seasons? What's first? Are you going to recruit?
Oh, definitely, definitely. That's one thing that I was told of, and I wasn't aware of it in the first place. That the biggest thing about college basketball is all about recruitment. No, it's about getting the prime and then the best high school students.
Were you recruited when you played for UP o
No, no,
nag-tryout
no, no,
ka?
no. I was a legitimate student of UP, and I just walked in.
Tapos nag-tryout ka doon
Oo,
sa team.
tryout. Oh, tryout talaga. Hindi yung nag...
You look like you should have been recruited in the first place. But
I
ganun,
was
ah.
in the province.
So how do you view this part of your job? Norman had to adjust because he was used to, here are the players, I want trades and everything. How do you view recruitment?
Well, for me, I had yet to be guided. No, one good thing about that is, well, I can call him the master of that. Is Paulo Trillo is on my side. No, so whatever need, whatever understanding that I have to do about all the recruitment stuff, he's always going to be by my side. No, so I think that I'm going to learn. I think that I'm going to find a way to get those. It's not about convincing them. It's all about their perception of the Ateneo basketball program and the Ateneo community as a whole.
Is the pace of the UAAP game really different from the PBA? Mas mabilis ba yung laro? One is the clock is shorter, di ba? 12 minutes tayo sa PBA, 10 minutes tayo sa... Is it really short? Is it faster? Or is it more kinetic? Mas mabilis ba talaga?
In the last few months that I've been watching the UAP, I wouldn't say that it's the case. No, I would say that the PBA now is also fast. Well, our college players would want to be fast, but again, if you compare them, in fact, when the first time that I saw, I immersed myself into the Ateneo game was about the first time I got a call was to watch them. I was really surprised and how far the skill levels are so different, no? Medyo talagang mataas yung sa PBA, and then ito yung college level, medyo parang nandyan na, hindi pa ma-shoot o hindi pa ma-ipasa.
So ito yung turnover sa limbawa, mas
Yes,
mataas din kasi
mas mataas.
bata pa, excited,
Oo,
di ba?
oo.
So do you see, going back to the thought about Ravenna, if you do play small, and I won't won't presume, no? But if you play small, do you see Ravenna playing a bigger role in the future in this team? He's now a junior.
Yes.
And first, your thoughts. What's your impression of Ravenna, and what role will he play in your team?
I think I was really pleasantly surprised how skillful, how good Kiefer is. No, I didn't think that I had that kind of perception for him when I was still in the PBA. I heard of him, but syempre anak yun ng kalabang ko pa before, no? So iniisip ko how good this kid really is. No, it's not just about his skill. It's about his the spirit inside him. It's that winning spirit that have been bringing parang positive change or positive influence in the team. So I would say that he would play a very big role in as far as our team is concerned.
Okay. Defense was always Norman's mantra. What are your thoughts about having to play defense? Is it different again, college and PBA? Is there a difference, or is it just simple basketball? Yes, you have to play defense.
Yes, I would I would believe that it's just the same. No, playing defense, it's like putting an emphasis to it. That as of right now, let's say for example our situation, what are we anticipating the other teams would do against us? Now, how are we going to stop the Abduls or the other imports of the other teams? No, and looking also about what we have right now as bigs. So we need to find a way how we can have defensive stance against those guys, because we all understand the value of defense. So again, it's all connected. When we make stops, we can fasten the tempo, then it would be to our advantage.
Do you feel pressure, uh, pressure of entering this winning tradition? Is there pressure on you personally, and how do you respond to this?
Yes, no, I would again feel that the pressure is not only in myself trying to win and getting those parang succeeding sixth championship for them. It's about the expectations of the community. Like, for example, they're trying to hide it from me. Let's say I'm going to meet an alumnus and going to say to me like, Coach, we're behind you, but we're going to push you. Okay, we're not just going to give you, let's say, some one alumni group gave me that coffee table top 150 years. We're not going to give you 150 years
How
to
has
give
the
us away.
welcome been so far? I mean, given everything that when you said yes, you had agreed, or how has the welcome been so far?
I would say that it was rather very warm. I'm sure that they would want it that way because, as I've been telling them, this is going to be the only time that you're going to be kind to me. So I told them that I understand their expectations, and it doesn't really matter with them that we're going to lose practically our front line and about 50% of the scoring. They would expect a winning tradition, no less.
I think one of the things that we'll learn about Bo is that you love challenges. You are a guy who is not afraid to face challenges. See, this has been the story of your career. When we were in the PBL, the MBA, and PBA later on. This is another new challenge for you, coaching this team. What are the what do you want to share with this team? What part of you, as a basketball man, what do you want to teach this team in the coming season? What do you want to impart to them that will be your stamp, your own trademark on this team?
Well, for me, again, as I mentioned earlier, that for me, the mark that I would want to leave with my team, let's say, I was thinking also during that 5-peat
Event.
drive for five
Yeah.
for Coach Norman that I was kind of thinking that sana, let's say after my three-year term, let's say they can also give me this feat, no, and that it will not be unceremonious, no. So I was trying to get that in my head that I would want to get this kind of honor from the alumni, from the community, and I would do everything in my power to do that. And again, going back to that mark, I would emphasize, I would make sure that my players are going to understand that it's not only about also the expectations, it's also about pushing them to the limit, about the potential that they have, and then most importantly, it's also about winning in life, not only in basketball.
The last thing I'll probably ask you to do is there a special message you'd like to share with the Ateneo community? Ikaw, broadcast major ka naman, alam mo naman kung aling camera ang titingnan dito. Is there a special message that you would like to share as you enter this new phase of your coaching career?
Well, to the Ateneo community, rest be assured that in the last few months that I had been trying to impress myself into your own culture, rest be assured that I fully understand what your expectations are. Of course, you are intelligent basketball aficionados. You comprehend what we are lacking right now, but you don't expect no less anyway. But what's important to me is that you're going to stay there. You're going to push us to the limit because of those expectations, because of those wishes, or because of those desires, and because of those negative comments as well. Those things are going to be concocted together for us to be pushed to our limit and to bring you to continue to that winning tradition again and again.
Bo Perasol, welcome to the Ateneo, and we look forward to a very enjoyable UAAP season in the years to come. Don't be surprised if you have your own award-winning ceremony a couple of years from now. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you when the games begin.